Creating the first heritage dive site in North Carolina is something that we have long wanted to do. This particular wreck is extremely significant for the role this ship played during the Civil War, but it's also one of the best preserved blockade runners anywhere in the world, and I've been fortunate enough to see quite a few of them. You can see a white 25-foot Parker, and that is indeed the site of the Condor. And they are putting the finishing touches on 2 mooring buoys, which are presented within the slate, which will be available for divers to go out and give themselves a self-guided tour.
This is North Carolina's very first heritage dive site. I am thrilled to know now that this experience will be available to those that live in North Carolina or are just here visiting North Carolina for this reason. We started exploring this wreck of the Condor in the early 1970s and began thinking of a way to build a sense of shared stewardship for our maritime heritage within the diving community as well as among all North Carolinians. There are 5,000 shipwrecks off the coast of North Carolina, which is why we call it the graveyard of the Atlantic. So far, only about 1,000 of them have been located and documented by archaeologists. From pirate ships to colonial sailing vessels to Civil War blockade runners, our entire maritime history can be found on the ocean floor. What better way to honor and preserve the history of our state than creating what is essentially an underwater museum? A project like this takes a lot of partners. I'm proud to say this was a real team effort among the many divisions of our department that are based here in this area. First and foremost, the Underwater Archaeology Branch, which pioneered this project. Joining them were the Maritime Museum at Southport, the Fort Fisher State Historic Site, the North Carolina Aquarium at Fort Fisher, and the Institute for Instructional Maritime Research. All of them had a part in making this happen. And I'm deeply grateful to our outside partners, the North Carolina Sea Grant and the Friends of Fort Fisher. We would not be here today without the support of you for this project.
Secretary, I'd like you to have the first of the slates out.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.